That's like telling someone you can sing, and then you put them in front of a crowd, and because you told them they could, but they really couldn't.
Because you didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. And then everybody's laughing. And how embarrassing is that? Because you thought, I just did, right? So
I didn't know how to tell you.
Right. Like, I know I can't sing. So they're like, no, just sing a little bit. No. Why? I'll sing along if you want me to sing Happy Birthday.
Right.
But I'm really not even singing. I'm like,
not a solo. So you're not really singing when we're singing Happy Birthday, baby?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not unless it's Temptations, like, Merry Christmas from the Temptations. Like, I can do that. I can do that. That's about all you're going to get from me.
Oh, gosh.
But I think it is honest. It's about being honest with ourselves. And again, sometimes things are cyclical because we've never been honest. We're not honest with what we allow. We have to say, you know what? I'm allowing this. I don't even like what I'm allowing.
Yes.
So we end up in the same things over and over.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven, and family-focused, and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Traci Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience. I'm Traci Self, and I'm here with my twin, Darnell Self. Hey, twin.
What's up? Look, I picked my shirt out first.
That's not true. And it's funny because today's episode is about telling the truth. So my shirt was already laid out. And when I came in, you had already had this on. I know you saw my shirt.
I really didn't see your shirt. I was looking through all of my T-shirts for a Self-Talk T-shirt. And I was like, I haven't worn this blue one.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is true. You're
false.
assuming, which was the last episode.
Wow. Okay. Well, here we are.
I need you to go back and watch the last episode a couple of times. Can you all send her a message? Just go ahead and drop it right on YouTube. Go back and watch your own episode because you're assuming about D-Self.
Go ahead and drop a note and tell me happy 30th anniversary because when this airs, it'll probably be around our anniversary.
Maybe. It could be 29. You almost made the 30, girl.
Oh, I'm going to make it. It's too late for you. You're not going anywhere, sir. So it is what it is.
Today's episode is
truth.
Okay.
Being true to yourself, being true to others, being true to your word, just truth, being truthful.
Yeah.
Right?
I think there's some self-awareness that comes from really being honest with yourself because this is self-talk. And for those who are new to the self-talk experience, it's really about the things we say to ourselves about ourselves, which is key, right? Telling truthful things to ourselves about ourselves determines what we attract for ourselves. So if we're not telling ourselves the truth, like we're not honest about our weaknesses, we're not honest about our strengths, then it's hard to set realistic goals because we're setting goals based on lies that we're telling ourselves.
Right.
Like, hey, yeah, I'm going to go after this. I'm giving it everything I have. And we know we're not giving it everything we have. So we're not being honest. We're like, yeah, I really gave it a shot. It didn't work out for me. But a true evaluation of your calendar would say, we really didn't give it a shot.
Right.
Really didn't show up. We reviewed the information one time and thought that would be good enough. Tell me who gets to do something one time and master it? Like nobody.
Nobody at all. But you talk about that a lot, babe. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So do you find possibly that if you're not honest in your, let's say your business, are you not honest in personal relationships? Is that kind of a pattern?
Well, let me tell you what I found. What I found is that things that make us feel good, so things that we do have a strength in and something that we have done successfully, we don't mind saying the truth in that.
Okay.
Because it makes us feel good.
Sure.
Right? And it's like,
and it makes us look good too.
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, I've done this and I've done that. This is why you'll find people who are my age still talking about, how successful we're playing football in the 11th grade. You know what I mean?
Because they feel like they can't be truthful about anything they've done since.
Right. Like
and that's something that is true.
Right. That was the pinnacle.
And it was great.
Right.
Right.
And so sometimes we have to say, look, I quite honestly haven't given everything I have since my football days. That would be honest. And they don't have to say it to anybody else, but to say it to themselves, they can say, look, I used to wake up early. I used to ask, when else can I work out? I worked out outside of the team.
Right.
I did this. Right. And since then, lost some of that.
Right.
And I've not given anything like I gave that. And that I felt good about. I felt like, man, if anyone said, was I really committed to football or whatever sport it was,
right.
You would say absolutely. But have we committed that same way, that same level of commitment, waking up early, jogging at 5 a.m, getting my my cardio up, my stamina up in business? Have I done that in my relationships? Have I, pursued going to marriage retreats and reading books on relationships, reading books on love? If I'm saying I want to be better at love, I should probably find out how I increase my capacity for love and how I'm able to give more freely love. So, you know what I mean? So anything you want to be better at, I think you have to be honest with yourself so you'll know where a true assessment of where you are currently.
Right. Well, part of self-talk is having tough conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's what it is.
We talk to ourselves all the time. And again, it's all about being honest because we can fool everybody around us. But when you go home and you're having that quiet self-talk and you're looking in the mirror, you know whether or not you've been telling the truth to other people and to yourself.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
But also, babe, we talk about this all the time, not just having those conversations with yourself, but having those conversations with other people.
Yeah.
And some of those conversations are not easy conversations. They're tough conversations.
Yep.
I would talk about our 30-year anniversary. Being married for 30 years, you can't. Well, I don't think you can be married for 30 years successfully and not have tough conversations along the way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think so.
Yeah,
and that can stretch into business and other, friendships too. Mm-hmm. When you're doing something for such a long time, oftentimes you do have to have those tough conversations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to bring up.
Yeah, because you have the potential to hurt feelings, right? So if you're telling someone, hey, I don't really like that anymore. They're like, well, I've been doing that for 10 years.
Or I don't like the way you talk to me like that. Well, we've been friends for 10 years. I've been talking to you like that, but I don't, but now I'm at a different place and I don't like that.
Right. Or I'm not willing to accept it. I've grown.
Right.
So I no longer accept the things. And you have to be honest. Like, I have to be honest. I don't actually accept that anymore. The things I used to do, I either don't want to do, perhaps,
right,
or I don't want to do them as long.
Right.
Right. I don't want to do them as long with those people.
Or maybe not at all.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. And that's not easy.
It's not easy.
You were just telling me about something you were watching and two friends had to have an honest conversation about what they liked and didn't like. And when you told me, I was like, ooh, that'd be tough.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I was watching. So the conversation was really key to me because both people were honest. Sometimes you can have a conversation and you're being honest, but then the other person isn't, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So they were kind of in a... not an argument, just kind of a discussion, and the same thing kept coming up. Mm-hmm. So one of the young ladies said to the friend, she said, "Do you even like me?" And for me, that's such a vulnerable and honest question to ask because you don't know what the answer is going to be, right? But the person was honest in their answer because sometimes the person will be like, "Oh yeah," she sat for a second and she said, "Sometimes."
That's honest.
That was so honest. So then the follow-up question from the first person was, thank you for saying that. So is this even a relationship that you want to pursue?
Another tough question,
right?
Because what if it's no?
And guess what? The other person, again, took a beat and said, I'm not sure.
Wow.
And the other person said, thank you. Yeah. And I thought it was great because it could have gone so many different ways, but they were both, I guess, just at a point where they just were really honest and vulnerable about how they felt. Yeah. Because this one was fed up because whatever she was trying to do wasn't working. And this one is fed up because I really actually don't know the answer to that. Yeah. But I don't know how it's going to end up. So, because like everything happens for us, right? Yeah. So sometimes those tough conversations happen and it's a breakthrough and it opens up something amazing. Right. But also everything happens for us and it could be the end of something. Yeah, it could be a season.
That's very true.
Right.
That's very true.
The hard part about the whole honesty and truth thing is being open for whatever that looks like. Mm-hmm. And it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, because sometimes we could take a look at the end of something as if it's the end of everything. But it's not. It's the beginning of something else. Mm-hmm. So when something is ending, that means the next moment something else is beginning.
Yes.
Right? If someone's in a relationship, it's the beginning of a single life. Or beginning of a new relationship.
Or the end of a relationship that wasn't working and a fresh start in that same relationship.
That's good.
Because you're having a conversation and you come back and say, I do want to pursue this relationship with you, and this is what I like now. And that person can say, well, great, I like this now. And it could be even better than it ever was before because you stopped to have that conversation.
Very true. That's
so it
good.
doesn't always have to mean the end. It's just the end of that part.
Yep. Yeah, it's a new chapter, right? So it's the end of that chapter. Same book, though.
Same book.
New chapter. Yeah, that's good.
But we talk about that all the time. Sometimes we have to have those conversations that are like, I hate to bring this up, but I have to. And the other person is like, why'd you bringing that up? But later you have to.
Why you have to do all the nonverbals with it?
Because that's me.
Right.
But later you come back and say, actually, that hurt my feelings, but thank you for saying it because I'm doing my self-talk and being true to myself, and I needed you to say that.
Yeah, that's the toughest.
But
look,
it's
for the
hard.
guys, listen, for the guys, the toughest question ever. Because
no,
I probably should say because it's guy talk, so now all my guy friends watching. It's like, dude, really, you put me out there like that?
No.
The toughest question for a guy is for a female to say, "How do I look in this?" And you not really like the way they look in that. Because you want to be, you don't want them to go out and not look the best they could. Not that they don't look good, but perhaps what they have on doesn't accentuate the things they should be accentuating.
Well, you have experience in a negative situation with that question, sir.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
Tell me.
It's in the timing of it. You don't ask the question after you are already out somewhere and it's too late to do anything about it. And you have to.
Or you just call me when it's already done. And
Exactly right. Exactly.
He had a solution.
He had a solution in one particular instance.
But
this one that I'm talking about, I put on. We were out of town. I packed. This is it. This is all I've got to put. This is all I have, and I didn't even ask you how I looked. And you decided to offer the information.
True.
You said, I don't really like how you're looking at. You probably shouldn't wear it anymore. Well, I have to wear it today, all day. So now the whole day is, you could have told me later, like, hey, don't wear that again.
I didn't know it was your last option. You normally pack extra stuff. You always have extra stuff.
Overnight,
Yeah, but you always have extra. The last trip to Vegas, how many extra outfits did you have?
Because I've learned.
Right. So it was helpful. So thankfully, I said that because from that point on, you had extra outfits. Kudos to me.
Let me rate my shirt. Everything happens for me. Yes.
But that is a good point, though. Timing is critical in that, too. Because sometimes you're like, okay. But you try your best to tell people things that always put them in a light that's shining brightly on them.
Absolutely.
And not a dim light. And that's, I like to be that person. I want to be that friend. I never want a dim light on someone. I want the brightest light possible. I want them shining in all areas. Mm-hmm. And I never want them to be in a position where, and that's why being honest with yourself, like, hey, that person, they have a weakness in this right now. I wouldn't put them out there. That's like telling someone, you can sing. And then you put them in front of a crowd. And because you told them they could, but they really couldn't.
Because you didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. And then everybody's laughing. And how embarrassing is that? Because you thought, I just did, right? So
I didn't know how to tell you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I can't sing. So they're like, no, just sing a little bit. No. Why? I'll sing along if you want me to sing happy birthday.
Right.
But I'm really not even singing. I'm like.
Not a solo. So you're not really singing when we're singing happy birthday, baby?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not unless it's Temptations, like, Merry Christmas from the Temptations. Like, I can do that. I can do that. That's about all you're going to get from me. Oh, gosh. But I think it is honest. It's about being honest with ourselves. And again, sometimes things are cyclical because we've never been honest. We're not honest with what we allow. We have to say, you know what? I'm allowing this. I don't even like what I'm allowing. Yes. So we end up in the same things over and over in the same situation, same financial situation, same type of relationships, same type of issues. And it's because, we like, man, I never dealt with it. Right. And so we we're not happy with our weight. We're not happy with whatever it is. And it's because we've never been honest with ourselves.
Right.
And so we can make a different decision. We make better choices when we're honest with ourselves, right? We're like, you know what? I need to make better choices because I'm being honest. I'm not the best at doing this, so I need to get some help and maybe feedback, mentorship, coaching in this area so that I can be better and make better decisions. So one, you make better choices and better decisions when you're honest with yourself, right? Two, we're able to set better goals. That means thinking about the future differently.
Yes.
When we're honest with ourselves, right? Because again, we talked about that earlier. It's tough, guys, to make realistic goals. We're not being honest with ourselves. So we keep saying I'm going to hit this goal. And it's not realistic for us right now. Let's start small, getting some small wins by learning how to trust ourselves because we've been dishonest with ourselves. So then when we say, I'm going to start doing this, and we actually do a little bit, we're like, I'm actually doing this. So I would say if you haven't been able to stick with anything for 1 month, give yourself 1 week first.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to do this for 1 week. Instead of saying, I'm going to be honest with myself and do this for a month when a month has never worked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just keep
so
making the same
so get
goal
some
over and over.
right, exactly. So listen, people either need to adjust the activity or just adjust the goal. So either we're not doing what's necessary to hit the goal, so we adjust the activity, right? And do more of it so that we can hit that goal. Or say, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'm not willing to give this much more than I'm giving it. Then adjust the goal and stop saying it's gonna be a 10 grand month. Say it's gonna be a 5 grand month because you're not willing to put the activity in or can't put the activity in right now because you're taking care of an elderly parent or taking care of kids or you have situations. We have to be honest with ourselves. Like, look, I got a lot happening right now. I'm spending a lot of plates right now. So I can carve out this 2 hours right now to do this a week when someone else can carve out 10 hours. So let's be honest with ourselves and not compare ourselves to others so that we can achieve what it is that we have the potential to achieve and the mind space. And sometimes that's cloudy and sometimes there's a lot happening and we got to work on clearing that up before we set such a big goal.
Well, also too, with that, babe, being open, like we were talking about earlier, being open to listening to the tough conversation for people who really care about you, right? And being open to change, right?
Do I have those tough conversations with you? Sound like you wanted to.
No, but it's good. We have tough conversations more than we ever have before because I think we're growing at a faster pace now.
That's good.
And I think the more you desire to grow and be better, you're wanting the tough conversations almost, right? It's kind of like going for no.
Yeah.
Like, give me the no so I can get to the yes faster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm more open than ever before to the tough conversations and not staying in if it hurts my feelings as long. Right?
Yeah.
Just figuring out, okay, well, let's figure out and be honest with myself. Is that true? Right?
Yeah.
So I think that if you combine all that together, it's a win.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And this is why self-talk is so important, guys, because it lines up with, and I think in complete alignment with self-reflection, self-assessment, right? It allows us to really look in the mirror and no one else is around and to be able to say, yep, I'm not doing well in this space. Right. And so I know a change needs to happen because I'm not happy here. And you can live a more fulfilled life and a more joyful life when we're honest with ourselves.
Well, and if you do all that, babe, that will boost your self-confidence and you'll be such a better person. Like all this is self, right?
Yeah.
It's called self-confidence for a reason. It's about being confident in yourself.
Yeah.
And if you line all that stuff up, you'll be even more confident to go out and tackle everything.
Yeah. Because the truth is we all have gifts. Even if it's not like someone else that look like someone else, but it's ours. It's our gift. No one can take that away. It's ours. And so when we're honest with ourselves, we can at least get to a place like we like to say, you wake up and you say 3 things that you're grateful for every day. Yeah. And you can even ask someone, hey, what were your 3 things if it's an accountability partner so that you can remember to do it until it becomes a habit. And that way you wake up and you're actually grateful for the things that you do have, the strengths that you do have, the blessings that have come your way instead of thinking about, I don't have this, I can't afford this, I never do this. And so it shifts how you look at your day. And be careful. Even if it's the truth, and the truth says that you're not financially able to do something right now, just be careful positioning that as if it's a period, not a comma.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just because
That's
it's because it is the truth today does not mean it will be the truth tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the key is to be honest about today so that we can change tomorrow.
I love it.
All right, guys. Listen, this has been another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. Remember, the things we say to ourselves, the true things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what we will attract for ourselves. And remember, everything happens for you, not to you.
And if you want to tell me the truth, think about it first.